Well, welcome back. Of course, you know this is Lecture 6, and we're moving on in our unit. We're now, as you know, in Unit 3. And we began talking about business and money last time, and I gave you the assignment, or I asked you to please listen carefully to the lecture that was at the passage at the end of the last lecture about entrepreneurs. I hope you did that. There's no better thing you can do in each of these units than listen carefully to these passages, because much of our key vocabulary and many of the key things are in those passages. And so I'm assuming you have some background now about the subject. So when I put this now in front of you, you will not be surprised to see entrepreneurs. I think now you already know about entrepreneurs. And as they tell you here, entrepreneurs are people who start new businesses or industries, and you heard about them, what they need, the qualities. Do you remember that? You heard about how they are different from each other, and you heard about the process. So you know a lot about this already, and here you see the fellow. This is the first person you heard about in the lecture, Mr. Bezos, Jeff Bezos, Person of the Year. Why? Because he was a good entrepreneur. And maybe you remember he was such an entrepreneur because he founded Amazon.com. So I hope you enjoyed listening to that lecture, and I hope you'll listen to it again. What we want to do now is to refresh your memory of it, going through some of the questions and vocabulary about this lecture, and then we go on to do other exercises about business and money. Have you ever seen or heard the word entrepreneur? Of course you have. You listened to a lecture about it, didn't you? So it's not new to you, and I'm sure that now you could tell me about this word. So you are now well informed. What makes a business leader successful? Now, entrepreneur is one type of business leader. Not all business leaders are entrepreneurs. Not all of them start new industries. Some of them take an existing industry and run it. So this is a more general question. What makes a business leader successful? Knowledge, I suppose. Skill, we would think so. Personal characteristics, yes, I think he must be honest. He must be personable. He must be he must also, have social skills. He must be convincing, Things of that sort, certainly. Now, they ask you to make a list on the board. Well, we can't do that, but I'm sure you can think about these things, and I think you'll be able to do that. Now, give examples of people you know who have started their own businesses. Some of you may know some entrepreneurs. We have them everywhere in the world, whether in Saudi Arabia, Europe, Asia, America, because this is a world where people are finding new things and new ways. So entrepreneurs. Let's look at our vocabulary. This should not seem strange to you now, since some of these were in the passage you did. As you see here, we have, brilliant idea. Well, brilliant idea. Brilliant is very good, Brilliant really means bright. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, probably you need a brilliant idea, Quality has different meanings, but in our passage, it means a characteristic. And we remember that there are two main qualities of an entrepreneur, that they both have vision and they're willing to take risks. So those are qualities. Solution. Well, one of the things an entrepreneur is doing is trying to find a solution to a problem. Solution, of course, the noun from to solve. If you solve a problem, it means you find the solution. We heard also in the process of being an entrepreneur or pursuing an entrepreneurial idea, you make a team. A team can be people playing together, but also working together. And so if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to build a team. Vision was one of the characteristics, one of the qualities of an entrepreneur. Notice it means vision in a different sense. Of course, vision, if you have two eyes, you have vision, but that's physical vision. In our passage, vision had the idea of mental, looking ahead. having ideas, seeing what is possible in the future. So notice it's a figurative use of vision. A person could be blind and still have very good vision. In fact, many times blind people have better vision than seeing people. Our verbs, and please notice the first one, found. This is the verb to found a company, to found a university, mean to establish, and the past is founded. And we heard about some entrepreneurs. One of them founded FedEx, another one founded Yahoo.com. So all of these are from found. The person is a founder. Have in common. In the second part of the lecture, they talked about things that are different or in common among the various entrepreneurs. And we saw they're all different, right? We saw some are rich, some are poor, some from immigrant background, some are men, some are women. So really, they don't have much physical in common, but mentally, personally, yes, they all have vision that they have in common, and they also have risk-taking in common, okay? In common. Hire. H-I-R-E, meaning to give work to someone. If you have an entrepreneurial idea, you can't do it alone. You need to hire workers and probably hire a team to work with you and for you. Identify. Identify means to know what something is. And so if you want to be an entrepreneur, you must first identify a problem. You have to find something that people need to be solved. Identify the problem and then find the solution. Raise capital. Capital, one of our vocabulary now. Capital means money available to be used for a profitable purpose. Now, if you have lots of money and you can't use it, then it's not capital. Capital is useful money. And then we have solve. We talked about that. Surf the internet. Well, one of our entrepreneurs got his idea while surfing the internet, and that was Mr. Bezos, who was surfing the internet and got the idea that wouldn't it be nice to sell books over the internet and to take risks, one of our qualities. So reviewing some of the basic vocabulary in the passage. Now, it says, listen. Well, we've done this, and you can listen again and again because the passage is there in your lecture. What are entrepreneurs? You know that now. They are people who take new ideas and build on them and are successful in doing so. Characteristics, they have vision, and they take risks. So that's really a review of what you've listened to. Now, in terms of what you should be integrating new into your learning is strategies when listening. And one of them is outlining. Outline, of course, means around. So when you get the outline, you know the shape. And so in outlining, shape is important. In chapters 1 and 2, you learned how to indent to show the relationship between main ideas and specific details. You can also show this relationship by using an outline. An outline looks like this. If you're doing writing, we use the same approach. Main topics, we have the Roman numeral, subtopic with capital letter, details below that as numbers, Arabic numbers 1 and 2. So this is a very good idea when you're taking a lecture. How do you know how many Roman numerals? Usually the lecture will begin, I have 2 main things. I have 3 main topics. So when you hear that, you're already geared to divide your notes into 1, 2, or 3. And then as he introduces different points, you arrange them on your paper. Now, you had a chance to do this at home, and maybe some of you have already done it. There was an exercise on page 63, and I filled it in as an example for you. We began with the topic entrepreneurs, and we began, as always, I shouldn't say as always, as often, with an example. Our example was Jeff Bezos, Amazon.com. For me, that would be enough to remember, Jeff Bezos is the person who founded Amazon.com. We don't want to take down lots of words we don't have time. We want to get down the key words and show the relationships as easily as possible. We don't want to waste time on grammar. Aren't you happy to hear that? When you take notes, you can forget about grammar, not about spelling necessarily, but grammar. Definition of entrepreneur, notice the person wrote def of entry. For him that was enough, or for her. It's up to you when you take notes, but be sure that you can interpret what you have written. Someone who does something new. And then we came to the second part. The second part was characteristics. And we heard they are similar for all entrepreneurs. Letter A, vision. And I put an equal sign. He sees opportunities. And we had the example, again, of Jeff Bezos and the idea of selling books online. I did not write Amazon.com again because you have it above. It's a basic point in taking notes that you don't write things twice. If the lecturer or the lecturer presents something twice and you think it's important, put a star beside it, underline it, but you don't write it twice. That's a waste of time. The second, B, willing to take risks. Here we had a new example. Frederick Smith, FedEx. Of course, that means he was the founder of FedEx. And what does FedEx do? Quick delivery. Now, again, you could use other words. These are your notes. But they must be words that you can interpret later. The third area that was covered was background. And you notice diff for difference. Now, the first point was education. The point was made, they're different. Jeff Bezos, college. Bill Gates, no college. B, some rich, some poor. C, many entrepreneurs, immigrants. Example, Jerry Yang. Founded Yahoo.com. Came from Taiwan as boy. I didn't say as a boy. We don't need the grammar. Even you could say Taiwan boy. Maybe that's enough for you. And then D, some old, many young. E, some women. Example, Anita Roddick. And there I put of the Body Shop. I use a lot of arrows when I take notes. And let's go to the last part of our lecture, the one about the entrepreneurial process. Taking notes on a process. Listen to the second part of the lecture. Continue taking notes on your own paper. After listening, use your notes to fill in the missing information. So again, if you're using the materials in this course well, you are doing this ahead of time. You are trying to get down information, and then we check it and we see how well you have done. Now, the entrepreneurial process, there were 6 steps. A, identify a problem. B, think of a solution. C, prepare a business plan. D, put together a team. You could say make a team, form a team. The words are not important. The meaning is important. E, test market your idea. Idea, test market. You could do it different ways. Raise capital. Now, what we're trying to have you do here is to start taking notes, get the information down. Because also, when you are tested, you might hear part of one of these passages. It's hard to remember Jeff Bezos was FedEx or was Fred Smith. Hard to remember. But if you take notes, it will be so easy. So really, we are pushing you to take notes. I say we because I see us here as a team, meaning not just me, all of your teachers. All of the teachers for English would like to see you taking good notes. Discussing the lecture. Discuss the following questions about the lecture and your own experience. Refer to your notes as necessary. Match each person with the company he or she founded. Have you ever used any of these companies' products? There's Jeff Bezos, and we heard Amazon.com. Some of you may have ordered books online. Bill Gates, Microsoft, I feel most of you will have used some Microsoft software at least. Jerry Yang, of course, Yahoo.com, very few people today who have not used Yahoo. Anita Roddick, The Body Shop. Well, if you are concerned about your looks, you may have used the Body Shop. Nice cosmetics, nice soaps, and things of that sort, especially for the feminine crowd. And then Frederick Smith FedEx. Maybe you have used it. So entrepreneurs are part of our life, huh? Number 2, what qualities do all entrepreneurs have in common? By now, that's old hat, isn't it, huh? Vision and risk-taking, huh? 3, in what way can entrepreneurs be different? We just saw many ways in terms of their financial background, education, in terms of whether they're man or woman, in terms of whether they're immigrant or not. So many differences. Really, the thing that makes they have in common is what they do, not what they are, huh? In other words, the qualities they have, not their color, not their age, none of these things. The 6 steps, we just went through them. Remember, you get the idea, you solve the problem, then you test the idea, and so on. Why are entrepreneurs cultural heroes in the United States? Well, I think they're probably cultural heroes everywhere because they make our world better, huh? They give us new possibilities, huh? Think of the life without Yahoo, huh? Or Google, up to you. Would you like to be an entrepreneur? Well, I don't know. I think most of us would like to be. The question is, are we willing to work that hard? It's hard work, huh? And you're taking chances. It's risky business, so it's up to you. All right, so that was reviewing your passage, and if you have any problems with it, please let me know. But I hope you understand now the basics about entrepreneurs. Remember, the key thing you can do is always go back, listen to the lecture again. These lectures should become part of you, so that when it does come time for the final exam, and you hear part of one, they say, oh, well, that's my old, well-known passage, huh? Think about that. We have a section here called Talk It Over. Well, it's hard for us to talk it over since you're just listening to me, but you might want to read about it and think about if you have any ideas as an entrepreneur. If you know some other student, you might talk about this. This is a nice thing to think about. But now we're going to move to Part 3. There we go. Part 3 is always contexts. You remember last time we had conversations, remember people talking about the pizza, and we decided that must be a restaurant? Well, now we're going to be doing some context specifically about business and money matters. And let's do a little bit of pre-listening here. You have this here on your sheet, pre-listening questions. We see this lady, you don't see her, I hope you can see, she's at an ATM machine, part of our life today, part of what makes our life convenient. Most American banks offer many different services. Look at the lettered list of banking services in the Focusing on Testing on page 66, and we're going to do that in a moment. Define the unfamiliar items with the help of your teacher. Well, that's me, so I guess we better do that right now. Sorry. All right, here we are. This is the exercise for our content. And I hope you see here we have the 6 items. The 6 items, these you must understand because you're choosing one of these for each of the contexts. So let's go through them together. A safe deposit box. This is a box which you buy and is kept at the bank. So if you need something, you can, if you have something valuable, you put it in the bank. If you need it, you go and take it out. This would be things like precious jewelry or maybe some precious documents. You don't want to keep them around the house. You keep them in a safe deposit box. B, a savings account. Account is one of our vocabulary in this unit. Account is a particular thing you have at the bank where you can keep your money. There are different kinds. Current account, you can take out the money anytime. Savings account, you have to give them notice. And we have here a savings account. Okay. Then C, loan, a home improvement loan. We have 2 types of loans, as you see here, a home improvement loan and we have a car loan. Now, a loan is money that is given you by the bank. The bank lends you the money, you borrow it. Now, the loan may be, as in C, to improve your home. Maybe you need to put on a garage. Maybe you want to refloor your house. Well, you need money, the bank will lend you. Also, you might need a car, to buy a car, and then, as you see there, this is letter F, a car loan. D, automated teller machine. Well, that's ATM. Hardly anyone uses the full name. We use this initial abbreviation, ATM. We have them everywhere. Very handy things. And finally, a credit card. Maybe a Visa card, Master, whatever. Another very nice thing which you can get through your bank. Now, you have these 6 items, and you must choose one of them for each of these advertisements. I'm going to be reading to you some advertisements, and you have to decide what is being advertised. Okay, so are you ready to do that? Here we go. You have to imagine it's an advertisement that you're hearing on the radio. So here we go. It's number 1. You have to choose A, B, C, D, E, or F. Hello there. Every person has valuable possessions that are difficult or impossible to replace. For example, you may have family photographs, jewelry, your passport, some old coins, maybe some insurance policies. You want to keep them where they're safe. You want to protect these priceless valuables. So lock up your treasures at our bank. We'll give you the best service possible, and you'll never worry about losing your valuables. Now, what was that an advertisement for? Well, of course, it was for a safe deposit box. You heard about valuables being locked up. So that would be the only one you could choose there, and that's A. Number 2, listen to this one. Right now, International Bank can lend you money for dozens of projects. For example, are you thinking of remodeling your kitchen? Do you think you need a new bathroom? Do you want to change your old house into an exciting one? Maybe you want to put in solar heating or a new roof. In any case, International Bank can help you. Come and see us. Well, what was that an advertisement for? Come and see us. New bathroom, new floor. Well, I guess that's C, because C is a home loan, And you see I wrote down some of the clues you heard: money, lend, kitchen, bathroom. So that's a home loan, All of those clues should tell you they're advertising a home loan. Let's listen to number 3. With your Insta-Teller card from International Bank, you'll be close to your money night or day. Our tellers operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Even at midnight, if you need money, you can come to us. You can pay your bills. You can make a deposit, morning or night. You can check your balance, even when the bank is closed. Wow, what are they advertising? What is the speaker talking about? Well, I chose D, an ATM card, Because what is the speaker talking about? Notice, close to your money, easy to get cash, 24 hours. Well, I think it must be an ATM. And finally, number 4. Listen to this advertisement. How would you like to keep your money at our bank and still be able to take it out whenever you need it? If you just deposit $5,000 and keep at least $500 with us, you can be part of our investor plan. Now, what was that about? You heard about put your money there, keep at least $500, they'll make you part of their investor plan. So if you're giving the money to them and they're going to keep it, that must be an account. So the account would be B, a savings account. Deposit $5,000, take it out when you need it. Of course, it'll be safe there. Not good to keep it under your pillow, Not a good idea. All right, that was our context section for today, all about money, huh? Money, money, money. Well, let's move on then to our next section. This is pronunciation. Something we had in English 210, but we're coming back to it because it's so important. Teens and tens. In American English, also in British English, it's hard to hear the difference between the teens. 13, 30. 14, 40. 15, 50. Huh? So you have to pay attention. Notice in the teen numbers, the T sounds like T. Why? Because the stress is on the second syllable. If we were putting stress, we'd put the stress here, huh? 17, huh? As opposed to here in number 2, 70. And because of the 17, we hear the T very distinctly. Also we hear E, huh? 17, 70, 17, 70. So now we're going to have an exercise where you listen and choose. Now, all of you have the chance to do this. We here on this page, here we have the exercise at the top. We contrast the different 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50, 16, 60, 17, 70, 18, 80, 19, 90. Now, in number 3, your job is to listen and hear the difference between each of these in numbers 1 through 10. They're always in a context. Let's go through them, listen, and see if you choose the same. Number 1. He paid $40.10 for the bottle. 2. This dictionary costs $16.99. 3. Most credit card companies charge 18% interest per month on your outstanding balance. 4. We drove at a speed of 90 miles per hour. 5. I bought my coat in Paris for 230 euros. 6. The plane from Buenos Aires carried 260 passengers. 7. My dog weighs 14.5 kilos. 8. The rent on this apartment is $2,215 a month. 9. My aunt lives at 1764 Wilson Avenue. 10. International Bank is located at 1890 West 2nd Street. Now, if you did this, you should have heard A, 4010, 2, 1699, 3, 18%, 4, 90, 5, 230, 6, 260, 7, 14.5, 8, 2,215, 9, 1764, and 10, 1890. Huh? So I hope you were able to do that. I hope you're able to distinguish them. That can be very important when you are doing exercises. Now, something that you can look at and think about on the spot. What would you do? Read the following situations. So I'm going to ask you to read them. I can't really say what you would do. You have to think about them. While walking down the street, you find a wallet. It contains $100 and an identification card with the owner's name and address and phone number. What would you do? Call the owner and return the wallet with the money? Keep the money and mail the empty wallet to the owner? Keep the money and throw away the wallet? Take the wallet with the money to a police station. I hope you'll all do the honest thing there. I tend to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll assume that you all do the right thing. Number 2, it's the same situation, but the wallet contains only $5. What would you do? Well, again, I hope you do the honest thing. Number 3, you went to the bank to take money out of your account. By mistake, the bank teller gave you more money than you requested. What would you do? A, return extra money immediately. The amount doesn't matter. B, keep the extra money. See, it depends on the amount. Well, only you can tell me, and I don't think you're going to do that right now. So think about it. All right, and then here discussing the situations. Well, I hope you made the right choice. We now go to the last section of our unit. The last section is always a task. And our task this time has to do with the checkbook. You see the checkbook there. Checkbooks are very much in use in America and also in Europe, maybe not so much here. Most adults in the United States have a checking account. Once a month they receive a statement from the bank which lists their deposits and withdrawals for the month. At that time they must balance their checkbook. Now I hope you know balance means to keep. You don't want to be paying more than you get in or more, so making sure that your checkbook balances. This means they check to make sure that they or the bank did not make a mistake in adding or subtracting. Some people do online banking and balance their checking account online, and that is an option for you today. Pre-listening questions. Do you have a checking account at a bank? Maybe you do. Many people do nowadays. How often do you write checks? Well, it depends on your circumstances. People here don't really use checks so much. 3, how often do you balance your checkbook? Well, it's up to you, but again, most people would balance at least once a month. And now we're going to go on to activity 3. On page 70, you can see a sample page from a couple's checkbook record. It has 6 columns. What kind of information is in each column? Well, let's go and look. Let's look at that. This is our task for this unit. This would be the way you would see the record of your checkbook. And, of course, as you have it in your book, things were missing. And your job, listening, was to fill in the missing parts. You had a discussion between George and Martha, because you see their name is George and Martha Spendthrift. That's a joke. A spendthrift is someone who spends his money, and so that's a joke. And we see the name of their account. And so they're discussing their balancing of the book. So they're filling in the missing parts. So let's see what was missing. George. Let's see here. Check number 200, October 25th. Did you write this check? Martha. $30.21. Oh, that was last Thursday. ABC Market. So notice we filled that in because that was the description of the check. That was missing, huh? George says, okay, so that leaves a balance of $490.31. Next, number 201, electric bill, $57.82. So now we have $432.49. Okay, what was missing there? The balance, huh? Because that you had to subtract the payment from the amount that was there. So here, $57.82, so it goes down to $432.49. Let's go to the next. George says, I remember, okay, that leaves a balance. Now he says, October 27th, Time Magazine. Oh, I forgot to enter the amount. Martha says, I remember that. It was $35. So you see there, $35 has been supplied. Now that was the missing amount. George, okay, so that leaves $397.49. Now what's this $70, huh? What's this $70 here? So he's wondering about that. And Martha says, that was for your sister's birthday. Oh, yes, okay, so that we had birthday present 70, we're down to $327.49. Oh, yes, okay, and here's check 205. When did we pay the dentist? When did we pay the dentist? The same day I deposited my paycheck, November 1st. Okay, so we filled that in now, huh? We filled that in. Because notice the Dr. Painless, that's the dentist, 11th the 1st, okay, and $40, and a balance of $162.49. The deposit, of course, is different because that's his monthly deposit of $1,234. So George says, fine. So after the deposit, the balance was $1,397.18. Well, we had to supply that. Huh? You could have just added these, but they nicely told you what it was. And then I made the house payment, check number 206. That's $412. And the credit card payment, that's $155. So now our balance is $830.18. So we had to fill in here house payment, $412. We had that already. Visa payment, $155, $830.18. So we're down here to check 207. Now, next. You know, George, we should really pay off our credit card balance. The interest is 18% a year. Why does she say that? It was $155, the Visa payment. That's the credit card, huh? Okay. George says, you're right, but we can't afford it right now. Look at this car insurance bill. $305, Auto Insurance of America. And that's just for 4 months. Okay, auto insurance. There we have the $305, bringing us down to $525.18. We're almost finished. And then George says, and what's this? Another traffic ticket? Another traffic ticket? And Martha says, last month it was you, this month it was me. George, oh man, how much was it this time? $68. Okay, so what's the balance now? So we have $68, and our final balance, George says, is $457.18. I guess we're okay for the rest of the month, as long as we don't get any more traffic tickets, huh? So please notice some of the important vocabulary here. We're balancing, huh? Notice we're balancing payments deposits and payments, huh? This is going out, coming in, huh? Look at the checkbook record. What could the couple do to spend less money? Well, I don't know. I suppose eat less, huh? They could also, what else could they do? Go to the dentist less? Anyway, that's up to you. At any rate, that ends this unit, and I hope you enjoyed this unit on business and money. Now we're going to see you next time when we begin our new unit, Unit 5. Thank you very much.